Hello, the Internet. My name is Davila LeBlanc, author, and today I'm going to talk to you about how the Chosen One ruins everything. Now, storytelling can be a tricky science. Authors and screenwriters have the difficult task of coming up with ways to make their readers care about the adventures of fictional characters playing out in fictional worlds. I've often found that the easiest way to get the audience to care is for the writer to actually care about the characters and worlds themselves. A novel concept, I know, but one that works. I've never once agreed with the statement that most moviegoers or readers are idiots and therefore need broad characters. That view is cynical, depressing, and insulting to anyone partaking in the process. Rather, I believe that readers and moviegoers are really savvy and intelligent, and if there's one thing an audience can zero in on, it's someone just going through the motions or acting like they care. This can often be seen when, rather than digging deep and creating new stakes and complications, the authors choose to fall back on tropes to do the character development for them. And one of the tropes I've grown incredibly tired of seeing is that of the Chosen One. If there is one narrative tool I could do without, for the next few years in any case, it would be that one. And I'm going to tell you why I feel this way. Number 1, it removes all sense of tension and drama. I'm going to ask you a very simple question. Have you ever read a story about a Chosen One in which that character did not achieve what they had set out to do, bearing in mind that even if the one dies at the end, it is usually still a victory for him or her? Simply put, the audience already knows that the hero is going to make it at the end. When this hero also happens to be the one, it only hammers in this fact even more. It's like a magician asking us to believe that he is doing magic after having told us that it's all fake and pointed out all the strings. Part of the joy we get from reading a good story or watching a great film is second-guessing whether or not the character will make it at the end. When a character is the chosen one, the answer is an automatic yes. And since we, the audience, already know this, we are automatically divested from the stakes the story is trying to set up for us. Number 2, it removes all notion of heroism from the hero. Why does Batman fight crime? Because his family was killed and he wants to make the world safer. Why does Wonder Woman do what she does? Because she's proud, noble, and desires to protect those who cannot protect themselves. Why does the Chosen One do what he or she does? Because he or she is the Chosen One. Isn't that a boring answer? As a writer, I can't see any character growth here. By exploring the motivations of a hero, we can come to relate with them. We can't relate with a child of destiny because, to put it bluntly, no one on this planet is a chosen one. In the real world, people are driven to do what they do for a myriad of interesting and mundane reasons. The same should apply to characters in fictional worlds. Frankly, I don't like rooting for the hero who was destined to overthrow the Empire. I am, however, tempted to root for the hero or heroine who was drawn into events that he or she cannot control. It is never once said in The Lord of the Rings that Frodo Baggins is destined to destroy the Ring of Power. He chooses to embark on the dangerous journey of his own free will. This one courageous deed makes us want to root for him, because a hero doesn't do noble things because he or she is preordained to do them. A hero does noble things because they are meant to embody facets of our nobler natures. Number 3. Chosen ones are usually blank ciphers. It will come as no surprise that many people project themselves onto the characters presented to them in movies and books. It should also come as no surprise that creatives behind the scene of productions know this as well. It has become a practice to make the Chosen One a blank cipher for the audience, a way for all of us to live the I am the specialist of special snowflakes fantasy. Because of this, the Chosen One is usually given very little defining characteristics. Think of the Matrix, and ask yourself, what is the one distinguishing trait about Neo? What are his passions, his drives, his strengths, and his flaws? That he's good with computers? That he's a loner? He doesn't really like his job? These are all very gray zone character traits that we can all project onto ourselves. Now let's do the same exercise with Trinity. What do we know about her? She's fearless, often to an almost reckless degree. She's loyal to the Resistance, and a close friend to Morpheus. We can tell that she's a fierce fighter and individual. And we gain all of this from the first 5 minutes of the movie. Even by the time Neo is assumed the mantle of the One by the second and third films, I still can't really tell you a single trait of his that caused him to stand out amidst the cast of colorful characters that populate the movie. Neo's arc begins and ends with, he is the one, he loves Trinity, then he dies achieving his destiny. There's very, very little character growth available in this arc, and while storytelling is hardly bound to formula, I would argue that the one thing a writer should try to avoid is going vanilla with their characters. Audiences don't like being forced into liking a character. They want to choose to like the character. When saddled with the Chosen One trope, that choice is removed from the audience, and they are effectively forced to root for someone they might not have if said trait had not been assigned to the character in the first place. Number 4. It makes us not care about the other characters. The Chosen One trope also ruins everything for the secondary characters of the series. Why should we care about the outcome of a character who isn't the Chosen One? Ultimately, they won't be the ones to save the day, so in the end, they cannot truly share in the final stakes. Oftentimes, the supporting cast is relegated to nobly sacrificing themselves for the Chosen One, or fighting one of the secondary villains, and in any case, they have very little to do with the ultimate climax of the story. Number 5. It's been done to death. This one may come off as a bit of a vent, and in many ways it is, but to be perfectly blunt, we've all seen this story before. Chosen One discovers they are destined to something great. Chosen One says, I don't want to be the Chosen One. Enter an event, forcing the Chosen One to finally believe and assume their mantle. Then the Chosen One fights the bad guy and wins. At this point, they can either win or die defeating the villain. Often, this is foretold in prophecy, which is another trope I hate and we'll talk about later. Now, if this sounds like every cliched fantasy film you've watched, congratulations, like me, you have cracked the code. Storytelling is formula, and the reason for that is that people like what is familiar, but they also like to be challenged and surprised. Which is not to say that there can be no surprise or interesting stories told by using this trope. Too often, though, I find it's not done to explore an interesting theme, but rather equates to laziness and shake-and-bake character development. Struggling with a character's motivation? Make them the Chosen One. Struggling with what a character should be? Make them the Chosen One. Like any character, if the author cares about the Chosen One, then the audience will care. Books like Dune do this to perfection, and even explore the price one pays for being the Chosen One. However, books like Dune also tend to be the exception over the rule. Too often I find this is just lazy storytelling and an easy way to make an uninteresting character even less so. The fact is that no amount of titles, prophecies, or tropes will get the audience to care about the character unless the author does as well. So make sure that you love the characters you've created before presenting them to us. The audience will know and appreciate it. Trust me. If you like what I've produced and want to see more, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. My book, Dark Transmissions, is available for sale on HarperCollins and Amazon.com. Please leave a question in the comment section. If I answer it, I might just send you a download for a free copy of my book. And until my next episode, in love, light, and laughter, be well.